Okay, I said. A transformer. Do you want Optimus Prime or Megatron? The interviewer was old and obviously had no clue what I was talking about. So I proceeded to draw a transformer with a beet red face. I'm sure I looked pretty silly and I definitely didn't get the job.
This is you?
This is me. This is my submission. This happened to me. My first job interview.
Oh,
in college.
Love that.
Oh.
Did you?
No, I didn't take it.
Welcome to Next Job Now.
The podcast where we help you get your next job
Right now. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Greg Langstoff, a certified resume strategist. I've written over 2,000 resumes, and I love helping people get new jobs.
And I'm Jeff, and I have a lot of stories about job searching.
Whoa.
Today we're doing a little bit of a different episode. We're going to talk about job search horror stories. Ooh. For this episode today, I've gathered a handful of some of the funniest, juiciest, alarming stories that folks submitted, because Greg posted on his Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, asking for some stories, as well as some juicy ones from Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'll start us off with the first story, and we'll go back and forth.
All right.
That way you can read some of them blind.
Okay. Yeah, I've not heard any of these.
Greg has not seen these. I have. Years ago, I was working in HR at a zoo and recruiting for a temporary role on the procurement team. During the interview, I asked the candidate why they had applied. Their response? Honestly, I don't really believe in zoos. I think animals should be free. They did not get the job. Why are you applying to a zoo if you don't believe in zoos?
I think it's very clear why they were applying to the zoo. To get on the inside to free all the animals.
Get in and free Willy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know how much easier Free Willy would have been if they had someone on the inside?
Yeah, that's so true. Not leave it up to the children.
Oh my gosh.
Here, I got the next stories for you. Unless you want to chat more.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Just don't tell them you don't believe in their mission, no matter what. Okay. I used to manage a Blockbuster video.
Oh, throwback.
And after one particularly awful interview, I walked the candidate out towards the parking lot and the alarms went off. It turned out he had stuffed 3 DVDs in his suit jacket before being called back to the office. So he stole before the interview. He did not get the job, or Mamma Mia, or Fool's Gold, or High School Musical 3, for that matter.
High School Musical 3 is one of the best movies.
I haven't seen it.
I would have stole it.
I don't know why you would risk anything for Mamma Mia, my least favorite movie of all time.
Mamma Mia is your least favorite movie of all time?
Mamma Mia is definitively my least favorite movie of all time.
I haven't seen it. I have other priorities of musicals. High School Musical.
I'm so jealous. Yeah, there's a trend here. My mom and sister would force me to watch Mamma Mia over and over and over.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
Ted.
I don't have any takeaway advice from this one. I guess don't steal from the employer that you're interviewing with. And if you do, wait till after the interview, I guess.
Don't do it at the start of the interview.
What are you like just walking in with these DVD cases like in your pockets?
I mean, Blockbuster, so it was the 90s, so you got much wider pant legs.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there was a lot more we could put in our pockets in the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Bring Blockbuster back. I want to spend my Friday nights doing something.
I hope someone hears that. See.
Okay. I was made redundant from my role as a product manager last year in October while on parental leave. Oh, I only started truly applying to work this year, and I've had some success getting through to 2 final interviews, with one company asking me to film an introduction video for my first interview, and for my second interview, I had to present a full product strategy only to be told they put the position on hold and they'd be in touch if it opens up again.
A lot of pieces there. I guess, like, firstly, it sounds like they were kind of mining for ideas, which is like a very unethical practice that companies will do. Is like they'll interview highly qualified people, ask them to give a presentation, and then just use your ideas. So if you're that person, like, check to see if this company used your ideas. You may have some sort of legal right to compensation. Also, something to unpack here, horrendous. Being made redundant while on parental leave. I don't know that that's legal everywhere. Like, I don't know the rules exactly, and it's going to be probably different in country to country, state to state, but they shouldn't do that. That's disgusting. Like,
I agree. And like, I think a lot of people can really relate to going through all of that interview process just to be told that they're not going to hire for that right now. The budget's freezed, hiring freeze. So a process that was 2 weeks, 3 weeks has turned into 6 months.
Yeah. It's very, very likely, I'd say, that they weren't trying to rob you of ideas and time, that they just like were unorganized, poor communication, or like a last minute decision from the higher ups. Like it's likely that the person interviewing you had great intentions and it just was bad.
I was in this situation once. I remember I got called in I went through the whole interview process. It was right after I graduated. The job was out in BC and I was interviewing virtually. And then they said, I didn't hear from them. And I followed up and the hiring manager got back to me and said, oh, yes, you are a top candidate. You're still in the running. We're just going on a hiring freeze right now. But if you're interested, we'll loop back. Never heard from them again.
I'm really glad that you didn't move to British Columbia.
I would have never.
But
yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, whoever submitted the story, thanks for sharing, because that's not great.
That's rough, but it happens. It's not you.
It's not you.
Okay, what do we got? I've been searching for a job for over 6 months now. It happens. I've done everything right. Updated my resume, applied strategically, prepared for interviews, but I'm still not landing an offer. I genuinely believe age is playing a role without saying it. And I hear many overqualified excuses. I even lowered my salary expectations. Even when I make it past the phone screen, and I do, things tend to stall after face-to-face interviews. I look younger than I am, about 8 years younger. But once we meet in person, the age difference becomes clear. Most of the people interviewing me are in their 20s, and I can sense the shift. Lately, I've been wondering, is this a sign that I should just start my own business? The truth is, I don't want to. That path doesn't excite me. I just want to work in a good role where my experience is valued. This is sad. This one's not funny. This one's just a genuinely horrible story. Yeah, like it's so real, right? It's like we can do everything in our resume to make ourselves look younger. We cut off experience. We don't share our education dates. But ultimately, they're gonna see you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get past that in the interview. And when they are in their 20s, we're going to talk about this in a upcoming episode, like ageism, but genuinely, you can lower your salary expectations. Sure, that might help. But if they're going to be intimidated to be working with someone who is older because you're going to have maybe better ideas, more experience, especially if they're going to be your boss and they're worried that you're going to know more than them, they might be too intimidated to hire you. And this sucks. And yeah, should I start my own business? I don't want to. Absolutely not.
No.
Like, it's so hard to run your own business. And like, if you love doing it and you want to do it, like, it works. If you don't want to do it and you're doing it to survive, like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to put in the effort that's required. So like,
Yeah, people who start their own businesses are ready to work 20-hour days.
yeah, and they love the 20s a little much.
I was curious of you. I snuck it in there.
Yeah, but like 12.
At least 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And you like you were gonna say, you have to be so passionate about Ted.
Ted agrees.
He's going for a walk in the forest. He doesn't want to be.
Okay, we'll leave him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be jazzed up. This sucks. And like, we'll go into that. Like, tune in 2 weeks from now. I think we're doing the ageism episode.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in for that. If you can't wait, like, just go check out my YouTube. I've done a few episodes on ageism and how to protect ourselves. But yeah, ultimately, you're looking for a company that just aren't going to be terrible about it.
I had an interview for a job as an electrical engineer and specifically dealing with power systems. The interviewer asked if I would draw a transformer on the whiteboard that was in the room and explained how it works. Okay, I said, a transformer. Do you want Optimus Prime or Megatron? The interviewer was old and obviously had no clue what I was talking about, so I proceeded to draw a transformer with a beet red face. I'm sure I looked pretty silly, and I definitely didn't get the job.
So for the non-electrical folks out there, I think like a transformer is like some sort of electrical device. I don't know. Do you know?
I don't. Isn't like I always hear the transformer blew.
Yeah.
So that's why we have no power in our neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Those things up on
the giant box where all of those wires come together, I assume. Anyway, not a car that shifts into a humanoid to fight or destroy Earth or what have you.
I mean, he's clearly just trying to break that awkward tension with a funny joke.
I don't love jokes in interviews though.
I know,
because like if it's like it's a big swing, and if it doesn't land,
didn't land.
The stakes are high. Also, like, I'd say read the room. If they've made any jokes early in the interview, maybe throw it in if you're vibing. That was certainly not an inappropriate joke.
No,
but it was like maybe culturally specific, and sounds like this person just wasn't familiar with that reference, which is weird because those movies were pretty like wide sweeping, like, and it would be hard to miss that Transformers happened, but tough break.
If you were asked Optimus Prime or Megatron for the drawing, what would have you chose to be drawn on the whiteboard?
Optimus Prime, obviously.
You're a hero.
Megatron is evil.
That could be it's interesting. It's fun.
I guess.
We need our villains.
I guess.
Let me be the Megatron of this podcast.
After an interview with a recruiter, got another interview with the engineer manager, and then an offline coding exam, then a cognitive exam. After all this, so they had an interview with a recruiter, interview with a manager, coding exam, cognitive exam.
And
then I went to an interview with two engineers of the company where we did something, did some live coding where I aced the challenges, the questions, and the explanations until halfway through the interview session. Suddenly they started firing questions about how certain coding languages worked under the hood or how they are built. Types of questions that no one in my sector is prepared for unless you are the one that built the language or have too much spare time. After 1 or 2 days, I got an email saying that they were moving along with other candidates, but they say, don't feel bad. We are only looking for the top talent of the industry. I mean, if I'm guessing what was going on here, like they probably decided that they didn't like you enough for the job, like earlier than you think, and maybe started throwing these questions at you so that you wouldn't be surprised that you find out you didn't do well. It is like evident fairly quickly in an interview if you like someone, and you can find yourself like rooting against someone if you're like, oh, I liked the person this morning so much. I don't want this person to do well. And like in an unethical setting, which a lot of hiring environments can turn into, they might just throw super hard questions at you. If I were to like give them the benefit of the doubt, I would say like, yeah, they were looking for maybe the number one best person in the history of this industry. If these questions are being asked to anyone, which is like, do you like when an interview is like asking very rigid, structured questions, the same exact questions to every candidate? Or do you like when it's like more of a flow?
I prefer a flow of just having a conversation and you're vibing and you can bring a little bit of personality and you can kind of follow up like a natural follow-up question.
Yeah.
And not every candidate needs the same questions, but I also think that there needs to be like a standard that just because you're vibing doesn't mean you can skip important questions.
Yeah.
And then now, well, obviously this person did better. You ask them different questions. You ask them the easier question. You ask them the question that they already alluded to.
Yeah.
Like there's some manipulation that you can do when it's not standard that I don't approve of and I don't think is super ethical.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that hiring doesn't need to be so serious and that you have to work with this person every day. So
Yeah.
you should like them.
Yes. I don't know. There's biases when you're just flowing.
Yeah. The guy who submitted this story followed up with, I think that this is the funniest thing, and is not upset about it. Wasn't upset about the way that they were told that, don't worry, we're only looking for the top talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really do laugh off this moment. When I read this story, I was like, that is unhinged and so inappropriate. That is not, don't feel bad. We're only looking for the top talent.
That's rude.
Are you Simon Cowell? Like that's a buzzer situation.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
That's harsh.
Anyway. Oh, the last one is also you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not back and forth.
If we have time after this, I have an interview horror story.
Oh, please.
After college, I went to an interview for a charity fundraising organization. They let me know the group interview would take 3 to 4 hours. Oh, group interview. When I got there, they explained they do hands-on interviews and told us that we'd shadow a charity representative on a site visit. Okay. They carpooled us 45 minutes out of town to a Costco where they set up a table and proceeded to sell cheap kids' toys, claiming profits go to charity. Once we got back to site, they explained how the job works on commission. 48% goes to us, 50% goes to the team lead, the remaining goes to charity, 2%. Yes, the remaining. Once we prove ourselves, we could hire our own teams, and well, you get it. I do get it, Jeff.
Yeah.
You've got your manager that's getting 50%. Then they have their team that are getting 48%. And then you can hire a team under you who gets 48% and you get 50%, but I bet 50% of that goes up to your manager. And then I bet if they prove themselves, they can hire teams. And suddenly we have a lovely pyramid shape, don't we?
This is my story.
This is you?
This is me. This is my submission.
Oh,
This happened to me. My first job interview.
Oh,
I was in college.
love that.
Ugh.
Did you?
No, I didn't take it. Honestly, I went home and I was like, that was wild. And my mom was like, that's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I want to know if you made any sales on your training day.
Well, of course I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so uncomfortable. It was like, this is so shady. This is so weird. They don't tell you anything. I was like, I support charity. I'd love to be a charity fundraiser. And like, you're obviously trying to be charming and help out. Like, it wasn't our job to sell, but they wanted to like see how you were.
Mm-hmm.
It was a horrible experience.
How cheap were these toys?
Oh, I remember, I think it was like a Velcro calendar with like a ball, and you could like move the day of the week.
Oh,
And they were selling it for $20. Everything was $20 on the table.
fascinating.
It was my horror story.
I'm glad you didn't take it.
Oh, of course not.
Okay, I'm gonna tell mine. I didn't write it down.
That's
but
okay.
I was interviewing at like a university in South Florida, and it got off to a very weird start. Like, firstly, for my screening interview, they called me on the wrong day, and I had to kick all my office mates out of the office at the last second. And I guess I did well enough to get like an in-person full day, like 7-hour interview session, which isn't normal or isn't unusual in our industry, because you'll go and interview with a ton of different panels all in one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there, and no one knew I was coming. They weren't ready for me. I had to wait and watch CNN in the lobby for 45 minutes before I was greeted by, the hiring manager. Then they took me to breakfast in their like university cafeteria, and there was no food because it wasn't a school day. It was like the first day of summer. So then they like wrangled me like a grapefruit. And so like, I don't know grapefruits at the time. I didn't have a knife. So I just like am sitting at this breakfast table, and no one else is eating anything because there wasn't any food. And like, these people are interviewing me while I'm like peeling a grapefruit with my bare hands, which I eventually just gave up on. And then I went back and like to their office, and they just left me there for another half hour. And I watched CNN again. And then they wrangled someone to take me on a tour who was not a tour guide. And he just showed me around. And then I was supposed to have lunch with my staff that I would have been managing. None of them were there because they were students, and it was the first day of summer. So they found some other people to go to lunch with me, including the hiring manager.
They found them.
They just gossiped the whole time and had all these terrible things to say about their other colleagues. Then I started going into proper like panel interviews. And in one of them, there was 10 people there. And they didn't all need to be there. One of them was very aware that he didn't need to be there, so he went to sleep at the table. He put his hood up over his head, leaned back and crossed his arms, and closed his eyes while they were interviewing me. I had a few other interviews that day, including the person I would have been replacing, and I asked, "Why are you leaving?" He said, "They won't renew my work visa." And I was like, well, I'm here to get a work visa. I'm Canadian. Like
Yeah.
So I was super confused about why they were letting someone go who needed a visa. And then like the whole day was weird. And then I had like a final sit down with the hiring manager, and he started telling me about his management style. He mentioned that he was a bull in a china shop. He loved to call people out in meetings. He loved to run down the hallway, tell you everything you did wrong, and then walk away before you could respond. And then he told me that his favorite thing to do was get drunk at their events. I don't know. So they offered me the job.
They offered you the job.
Yeah.
What about the visa?
I think they were planning on just like letting me do the 8 months I was eligible to work, and then seeing if they wanted to give me like an extended visa. So, yeah.
That's a horrible story. I've heard segments of those stories. I've never realized it was a full day of that.
That was the 3-minute version too. Anyway. Yeah, I did not accept the job.
No,
and I chose to eventually get nearly self-deported in the end because I came back home.
Yeah. Thank goodness you came back home.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I could have been in Florida. You could have been in British Columbia.
Oh,
None of this would ever happen.
mountains? Not walking up any hills.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us for this special episode of the podcast. Join us next time where we talk about resume's biggest mistakes.
Ooh.